What's up, guys? Welcome to another episode of Debates with Knob on the Right Way Sports Network. I'm your host, Pranav Sriraman. As always, make sure to follow me on Instagram at Sports World Debates. And if you have a question about one of my takes or if you have a problem, just make sure to tweet me at SWDTweets1. So today, we're going to be breaking down a little bit of film. We're going to be breaking down a little bit of film on Illawarra Hawks and NBA draft prospect LaMelo Ball. And we're going to be analyzing his strengths, weaknesses, and breaking down his full game against R.J. Hampton, who's an NBA talent himself. And to me, LaMelo Ball is the most talented player in this draft class. Ahead of guys like James Wiseman, Anthony Edwards, and Obi Toppin, I believe LaMelo Ball is the most talented player in this draft class. And today we're going to be figuring out why he is. So without further ado, let's check it out. Credit Ball's life for the video. So right off the bat, LaMelo has a lot to do to improve his defensive game. Obviously, he has a lot of tools in his arsenal, his size and his wingspan. It helps him on the defensive end, but his decision-making on the defense and his motor on the defensive end has to improve a lot. Because as you could see just there, he left his initial matchup to go defend the guy on the perimeter, and the guy on the perimeter made sure to get the ball to the guy who was LaMelo Ball's initial matchup, which allowed him to cut to the basket for an easy dunk. So LaMelo Ball has to improve what he wants to do on the defensive end and whether or not he knows how to, in a sense, see the matchup, see what's going to happen. So that's one thing he has to work on before getting into the NBA or in the NBA. Nice. I love it. His vision is spectacular. As you can see just there, the guy, I'm going to refer to most of these players as guys because I don't know who they are. But the guy, number 6 or whatever, he cut to the basket, and LaMelo found him for an open layup as his vision is spectacular. It's off the chart. And he saw that he was coming around, and he got the ball to him, and the guy put it up for an easy 2. Spectacular vision on the playmaking end of the court for LaMelo Ball. Nothing much LaMelo can do there. He has a good handle with the ball, too. Again, with the vision, it was a no-look pass. He just got it into the guy on the interior. It's a great vision, great instincts for LaMelo Ball. He knows what he's doing on the offensive end of the court in terms of playmaking. Again, he still needs to stick with his initial matchup, and that's a thing he can develop later, just like Lonzo did. Lonzo was not as elite of a defender he was coming out of college as he is now. And if LaMelo gains his motor and stays with his initial matchup, I think he could be a good defender in the NBA. But right now, he just lacks that extra instinct to stay with his initial defender. His initial matchup. His initial matchup always gets past him for some reason, or he gets too, what's the word? He gets too careless with his matchup, and that allows his matchup to score too easily, which can't be allowed. R.J. Hampton for the 3. He's still on R.J. Hampton. See, now that's a good, I'm fine with him leaving his matchup since that guy was uncovered and R.J. Hampton was still covered, so. Okay. He could finish through contact, and he could finish through a similar height defender or a guy who is bigger than him, and he's very crafty with his layup, as we just saw. I like it a lot. Great hustle. Again, his vision, oh my god. His vision is off the charts. His playmaking, his IQ, I love it. I love it. That's what you want from a draft prospect. We haven't even seen all of his scoring yet, and he's already showing that he can be an elite player on the offensive end of the ball just by his pure ability to make plays for others. I love it. Okay. Again, so not that I can't blame him really for, but laid off his initial matchup, and that allowed the primary playmaker on the other team to dish it to his initial matchup, who got it to the inside. So he just has to like stick with this matchup. It's the same problem I keep bringing up. He's not even in the game right now. And keep in mind, the New Zealand Breakers are a much better team than LaMelo Ball's Illawarra Hawks. So if his teammates are having struggles, you can't really place that on him. The Illawarra Hawks are one of the worst teams in the NBL, while the Breakers are one of the best teams. Okay. Now, that shot from LaMelo, he kind of just forced up there. He didn't really need to take that shot. He could have dished it out to another teammate, and he probably could have found a higher quality shot if he just passed it to another teammate, or he could have ran around and got a better shot for himself. So he has to improve those careless shots, which he just took just now. But that being said, a lot of NBA players take careless shots, but it's just the little things, that he has to improve. Again, he shot it a low percentage shot over a defender who's much bigger than him. It's just not something you want to see. Oh, he immediately hustled to the basket, expecting to get the rebound. So that's great instincts for him again. Oh, see. So something about that play which stands out is he had a wide open 3-point shot, but it was very slow release and he didn't make it. He shot sub 30 from 3-point lane from the 3-point land during his time in Illawarra. So that's cause for concern, but then again, that can improve. We saw what Lonzo Ball, his brother, did when he was coming out of UCLA. He wasn't a great shooter, but this season he's improved to almost a 40% shooter from the 3-point line. So he can improve that over time with just adjustments to his shot. But coming in as a prospect with that shot, you don't really want to see that from your main point guard, who, in this day and age, your point guard needs to be able to shoot at a high level if they want to be the most effective they can be. But I like his instincts again. He hustled. He missed a three. Let's see it again. So he shot the three right here. Actually, it's after this. It's after this. So he shot the three, but he immediately ran, got the rebound, put it up, got past the defense, very crafty inside, and laid up the easy two. I love it. Cut to the basket. Oh, see, that's another thing. With his insane playmaking ability, he could get a bit careless with the ball And right there, he just made an unintentional error or a turnover just because he was careless and he wanted to make a highlight play, but it didn't go as planned. So instead of making a great pass, he gave a possession to another team. So things like that, you don't want to see that from a point guard. Just make the right play and get the basket and go on defense. We don't need the flashy stuff all the time because he didn't need to do that in that situation. Let's rewind back to that play, actually. Pass this. Okay, so right here, he's going to cut. There was no reason to do that. He just threw it behind his head. That's not needed. He could just go like that. He could just lay. And I'm not saying I'm like an expert, but it's just like the little things he could do, which eliminates those costly turnovers, which can help his team win the game. Oh, very crafty layup from RJ Hampton. I like that. Again, LaMelo's leaving his matchup, and he doesn't need to be a help defender in that situation. Past this. Okay, so in this defensive possession, LaMelo is leaving his matchup, but there's two other defenders right there. So he doesn't really need to be that help defender. It's just those little things. He has to stay with his matchup. He has to stick to his guy instead of leaning off and trying to be the help defender when he really doesn't have to be. As you could see again, the defender got right past him. He has to work on those skills, which can be improved, but from the defensive side of the ball, he has a lot to improve on. Again, but actually I don't really blame him for that. Very explosive. RJ Hampton is very explosive. Might have to do a film review on him next. LaMelo, let's see the three. I like it. I like it a lot. See it again. All right. It was from quite a long range. Still an awkward form, but hey, it went in. But it was more of an open shot. We have to see him contested too, because a lot of his shots in the NBA are going to be contested against better defenders. But I like it. So far, I like it. It's much more developed than when Lonzo came into the league. And I'm going to keep using that Lonzo comparison since that's his brother, of course. And they're very similar players. Again, great mid-range shot. We're going to see it again. After this possession, he gets turned. Right here. Gets past this initial defender. Great handle. Sets with a shot. It's a kind of an awkward shot, but if it goes in, I could live with it. He has a great handle with the ball. If it goes in, I could live with it. That's all we need, but I just need consistency. Like 28% from three is not going to cut it in the NBA. Especially from your primary point guard. Again, I think I missed that play, but see again. His layup. Got past this initial guy, finished through contact. I love it. He's a very good interior finisher. Like, for his size, he's a 6'8" point guard. He could finish inside. He could play make. He could do it all on the offensive end except shoot with consistency. And I need more of that consistency from my primary point guard in the NBA, which can develop, as I've said before. But right now, as a prospect, he needs to have a better shot. Okay. Can dictate an offense. I like it. Again, his handle is insane. He has great handles, great agility, and he just went up for that easy dunk, got past every defender. I like it a lot. I like it a lot. And finish through contact. It's a plus. Now, what was that? Don't need to be, I don't know what I just saw, but I think I didn't like it. Let's take a. What was that? Come on, man. LaMelo. You can't be doing that in the NBA. You can't just throw it off the glass. If you were aiming for a shot, that's a terrible shot. If you're going for a bounce back, that's still a terrible bounce back, as it could have gone out of bounds or it could have gone to the other defender. Just those things. But you want to make a highlight play. You don't always have to be flashy with the ball. Just get the job done. All right, let's see what he does here, though. It ended up working, but just those little things, like, you don't have to throw it off the glass for that instance. All right? See, that's what I want to see. He did it right after that. That is what I want to see. Instead of those flashy playmaking assists, which we know he can do, but we don't need to see it all the time because it could cause an unforced turnover. And he made the right decision. He just turned around and he flipped it. That's all we need. And that's great instincts for LaMelo. I like what I'm seeing right now. Okay. Going off as defender. Okay. Just the little things. All right, let it fly, Melo. Oh. I can't really blame that on him. He went to a tight spot. Oh, come on, man. That, again, he's trying to be too flashy when he doesn't have to be. Like, right here, he gets stuffed. That wasn't a high percentage shot, but then again, he went against multiple defenders. But right now, he was trying to show off his ball handling skills, which there was no need. The defender wasn't even on him, and he just gave the defender another possession. So, just those little things you have to eliminate. Right here, you could see an in-depth look at it. He bounced it off the other guy's foot, which allowed him. It was not the other guy getting a steal. It was LaMelo, who was trying to show off his dribble moves, and it didn't work out for him. The offensive player got past Melo, went up for the layup. So little things. Great finishing ability at the rim. He's very crafty as a finisher. I like it. I like it a lot. So he was trying to go for the putback, but I mean, was it? Actually, with the time on the clock, I can accept that. With the time that was left on the clock, I can accept why he went for that terrible putback. But great instinct getting the rebound. Ad pop up. So the replay? I think that's going to cap it off. So what we take away from this is LaMelo Ball is a great prospect. He has a lot of strengths in his game. He could finish at the rim. He's a great playmaker. The playmaking part is the best part of his game by far. and he is very crafty with the ball. He makes his teammates better, obviously. He literally elevated the team, a last-place team, to almost beating one of the best teams in the NBL. And he's clear-cut the best option on their team. He can finish through contact. So on the offensive side of the ball, what are his weaknesses, though? He could get too carried away with making flashy plays, and he's not a great shooter yet. And those skills can improve, but as of right now, he has somewhat of a form, is better than what Lonzo had, but we need more consistency out of him with that shot. But he has great instincts, he has great hustle, he has he has a motor. That's the part I love about him most. He has a great motor to succeed. Now on defensive end, he has a lot to work on. He always leaves his initial matchup, which for some reason I don't know, but he always gets carried away with being a help defender, which he doesn't really need to be one in most situations. He's supposed to be guarding the perimeter. And another thing on the defensive end is his matchup can easily blow by him. But those are things I believe he could really work on. And with his talent, he's 6'8" and he has a long reach. With that amount of natural talent or natural God-given intangibles, I believe he could improve into a quality defender in the NBA just due to his size. And at the point guard position, that size is so much bigger than most point guards in the NBA. And on the offensive end of the ball, I believe he can improve on his shot mainly, but other than that, he doesn't have much to improve on. And I still believe he is the most talented player on this draft class because although he might not be the most pro-ready immediately coming out of the NBL, he does have the most upside with his playmaking ability, with his scoring ability, with his size, with his motor. I believe he is the most talented player in this draft class. Thank you.